Welcome to the TreeTips tutorial. Over the next few minutes, you'll become well versed in how to get the most out of Ancestral Quest's built-in research tool, TreeTips. Have you ever wished that your family tree software would just do your genealogy for you? While TreeTips won't do it all for you, it can show you many of the records that you need to extend your family lines or verify information of which you are unsure. It can also point you to the shared research of others, which may save you hundreds of hours of research. Let me add an acknowledgement that Ancestral Quest doesn't do all of this by itself. Thousands of volunteers, professionals, and investors have spent enormous time and resources to make this data available in such companies as FamilySearch, Find My Past, Ancestry.com, MyHeritage, and others. TreeTips is a new technology that simply coordinates the benefits of these services in Ancestral Quest to make them available at your fingertips as you research and record your family tree. As you enter family data into Ancestral Quest can work in the background looking for hints from FamilySearch and Find My Past. As hints are found, Ancestral Quest will show you hint icons to alert you that hints are available. In addition, the powerful new advanced searching options of TreeTips allows you to find the best records from Ancestry.com and MyHeritage with a couple of clicks of your mouse. Whether notice of records comes to you via hints or whether you initiate advanced searches, TreeTips opens the door to finding family records in the world's largest repositories of genealogical records and compiled trees as you grow your tree. So let's get started. Let me first show you how to use hints from Find My Past, a service based in England with nearly 3 billion searchable records. Simply go to the View menu and make sure the check mark is set next to Find My Past Hints. As long as you have indicated that you want to view Find My Past Hints, Ancestral Quest will research for hints for people you see on this family screen or on the pedigree view as you go about your normal tasks working in Ancestral Quest. As hints are found, you will see Find My Past icons pop up next to names of the individuals on the screen. Simply place your mouse cursor over an icon. Don't click yet. An information window will pop up showing you counts for pending, confirmed, and rejected hints. Simply click now on the Find My Past icon or hint info box. This will activate your default browser and show you the hints for your ancestor. As you find information you'd like to copy from the Find My Past pages into your Ancestral Quest file, let me recommend that you adjust your screen so you can see both Ancestral Quest and your browser at the same time. Let me grab the left edge of this screen and move it over, and grab the right edge of Ancestral Quest and move it over. Note that the tutorial limits me as to the screen sizes I can use. On your monitors, you will probably have a higher resolution so you can see more of both Ancestral Quest and your browser as you do this. At this point, you can review the hinted records to see if any are indeed a match. As I look at these two, they both appear to be of my Sarah Ann Nebeker. Let me take a look at this 1870 census. I'll click on Review to see the transcript. I can see her parents and siblings at the time. Since I prefer to always examine the original document when it is available, let me click on the View Image icon and zoom in. I can take my time examining the information in all of the columns of the census to glean what I can, and then add family members from this census record into my database. Then I'll want to examine the other hint, but I won't take the time to do that now as I'm only trying to teach you how to use hints. If I see any hints that are not of my ancestor, I'd click the Reject button to let Find My Past be aware not to show that to me in the future. Now let's take a quick look at the FamilySearch hints. FamilySearch is a service based in Utah with over 5 billion searchable records. I could keep both hint types active, but for this tutorial I just want to focus on one type of hint or advanced search at a time. So let me turn off the Find My Past hints by going to the View menu. FamilySearch hints are a little different than the Find My Past hints in a couple of areas. First, even though Find My Past provides hints for free, they require that you have a subscription to view most of their records. On the other hand, both the hints and the viewing of most records on FamilySearch are free. For some records, FamilySearch may send you to another site to view the record, and you may have to pay a fee on the other site, but most records, in my experience, are free on FamilySearch. Second, to get FamilySearch records, you have to take a couple of extra steps. I'll show these steps in a minute. Third, when Find My Past provides you with hints, these hints are just for you. You can confirm or reject them as you view them. However, with FamilySearch, the hints are for all users of FamilySearch simultaneously. Only the first person to see a pending hint will see it as pending. Once that person confirms or rejects the hint, other users will either see the hint as already confirmed, or they may not see it at all because it was rejected. A little later, I'll give some important tips to getting the most out of FamilySearch hints. For now, I'll cover the basics. In order to use FamilySearch hints, you have to make sure that the Ancestral Quest to FamilySearch connection is activated. Do this by going to the Tools menu, dropping down to Preferences, and make sure this box for Connect with FamilySearch is checked. Next, you have to be logged into FamilySearch. Let's go to the FamilySearch menu and select Login. If you already have a FamilySearch account, enter your ID and password here. If you don't yet have a FamilySearch account, go to FamilySearch.org to create a free account, then enter your ID and password here. If you want Ancestral Quest to automatically sign you in the future, check these boxes, so whenever FamilySearch needs to search for hints, it won't have to ask you to log in. Now let's turn on the FamilySearch hints by going to the View menu. With an active connection between FamilySearch and Ancestral Quest, you'll see these little tree icons by the names of all deceased individuals in your file. If the icon is gray, it means that you have not yet linked that record with the corresponding record in FamilySearch. If the icon is a dark blue, it means that you've already established a link between this record and the corresponding record in FamilySearch. FamilySearch provides hints for records in its family tree. You will only get hints for records in your database that are linked to corresponding records in FamilySearch family tree. You'll see here that many of the records have links so that hints can be examined. A couple of these children are not yet linked. As a result, even if FamilySearch has hints for these people, Ancestral Quest can't retrieve the hints until the records are linked. Ancestral Quest can help you link records one at a time, or a family at a time, or by selecting larger groups. During the matching process, if you find a corresponding record already exists on FamilySearch, then you simply link to that record and Ancestral Quest can then show you the hints for that person. If you find that FamilySearch does not yet have a copy of your records, then Ancestral Quest will allow you to click a button to upload your records to FamilySearch. Ancestral Quest will link your record with the newly created record on FamilySearch, and FamilySearch will start looking for hints for that record. Depending on how quickly they find hints, you might find hints for a newly added record fairly quickly, or it may take a few hours. When you hover your mouse over a FamilySearch hint icon, you will see the current number of pending, confirmed, and rejected hints for that person on FamilySearch. Drop down the list of hint descriptions to select a hint from the list. Simply click on the down arrow, scroll through the list, then select a hint. Ancestral Quest will instruct your default browser to show you this hint. Sometimes the page will include a link to view the image, and other times you will only see a transcript of the record. Pending hints will also have an option to convert the hint into a source and attach the source to the record on FamilySearch. Once a hint has been converted to a source, Ancestral Quest has a means of downloading that source into your personal database so the hints that you find can become part of your own family file. We've now covered the basics of using hints from within Ancestral Quest. Let's turn off the FamilySearch hints for now. A powerful part of TreeTips is the ability to do advanced searching on various online genealogy sites. While there are others, let's focus on performing advanced searches on Ancestry.com and MyHeritage. If your experience is like mine, you'll find that Find My Past may give you different hints than FamilySearch, and that the records you find by using the advanced searching of Ancestry.com and MyHeritage also provides different records. Each service has some of the same records to search through, and each service has unique records that you can only find using their service. As you try to turn over every stone looking for clues about your ancestors, you will want to use each service to find out what they have to offer. Ancestry.com is a service based in Utah with over 20 billion searchable records. Ancestral Quest provides 3 methods for initiating advanced searches on Ancestry.com, and I'll quickly cover each. First, you can turn on the Ancestry.com links while on the pedigree view, and use these links to search for records stored on Ancestry.com or search for compiled genealogies stored on RootsWeb. Second, you can simply highlight any name you want to research on any of the views of Ancestral Quest, such as the pedigree, family, name list, or individual view. Then go to Ancestral Quest's Internet menu and perform a search on Ancestry.com. Third, you can set the Ancestry.com search as your default Internet search. Then use the Search Favorite Site button to initiate a search on the highlighted name. Let me quickly demonstrate each of these. Let's activate the pedigree view, then tell Ancestral Quest that we want to view the Ancestry.com links here in the View menu. With this option activated, Ancestral Quest will display 2 links for each name. The Search Trees link will search compiled genealogies in the RootsWeb project. Depending on how the RootsWeb system is responding at the time, you may simply see the words Search Trees, or you may see a number of trees that Ancestry.com has already found with a 5-star rating. Simply click on a link to initiate a search. The trees, which are compiled genealogies submitted by others, can be viewed free of charge. The Search Records link will initiate an advanced search against the 20 billion records stored at Ancestry.com for the selected person. Let me tell you what I mean by advanced search. Ancestral Quest will compile information you have already entered into your database on the name, birth, marriage, and death of the selected individual, along with the names of the parents and spouse. With this information, Ancestry.com is able to retrieve quality results comparable to its own hinting service. Let's show how this works. Let me click on the records for Sarah Ann Nebaker. Ancestral Quest instructs your default browser to do an advanced search on Ancestry.com for the name of your ancestor and show you a list of possible matches. Once on this screen, you will likely find 1 or more results which match your person. Notice that Ancestral Quest has sent the name of the selected person along with the birth, marriage, and death information and the names of the parents and spouse. When you select a matching record to view more information about it, Ancestry.com will typically then show you a list of suggested records. These are often the same records that Ancestry.com would show you if you were using the hinting built into Ancestry.com. You can now enjoy looking through this list of records, which are very likely records for your specific ancestor. You can get the same results from Ancestry.com even if you are not on Ancestral Quest Pedigree View. From the Family View or other views, simply open Ancestral Quest's Internet menu, then select Search Ancestry.com, and then General Search. Ancestral Quest will perform the same advanced search. If you are doing a lot of searching on Ancestry.com, Ancestral Quest provides a shortcut. You can simply highlight any name in your screen, then click this Search Favorite Site button to initiate the advanced search. You do have to tell Ancestral Quest that Ancestry.com is to be considered your favorite site before this button will perform searches on Ancestry.com. To do this, go to Ancestral Quest's Internet menu, then select Favorite Sites. From this screen, highlight the Ancestry.com search and make sure it is set to be the default. The default Internet search will have an asterisk by it to indicate that this is the search connected to the Search Favorite Site button. With Ancestry.com set as your default site, simply click on any name in Ancestral Quest's current view, then click the Search Favorite Site button to initiate the search. When you are ready, highlight the name of a different ancestor, and again click the button to do a search on that ancestor. We're done with Ancestry.com for now, so let me turn off the Ancestry.com links. Finally, let's discuss advanced searching on MyHeritage. MyHeritage is a service based in Israel with over 6 billion searchable records. When Ancestral Quest performs an advanced search on MyHeritage, it sends the name of your selected person along with the birth, marriage, and death information from your Ancestral Quest file. It also sends the names of the person's father, mother, and spouse. With this information, MyHeritage is able to display high-quality matches for you. To initiate an advanced search on MyHeritage, Simply highlight the name on any of Ancestral Quest views, then go to Ancestral Quest Internet menu, down to Search Favorite Sites, select MyHeritage, and perform the internet search. Just as with Ancestry.com, you can make the MyHeritage search be your default favorite site so that you can then use the Search Favorite Sites button to more quickly search MyHeritage. So let's make MyHeritage the default internet search. I'm going to close this screen, go to the Internet menu, select Favorite Sites, select MyHeritage, and make it the default. MyHeritage is now the site associated with the Search Favorite Site button. Now let's select the ancestor I want and click the Search Favorite Site button to initiate the search on MyHeritage. Notice that Ancestral Quest has sent the name, birth, death, and marriage information along with the names of the parents and spouse to MyHeritage. Let's look through the list of possible matches on the MyHeritage site. You could pick any of the various trees of compiled genealogies and start examining what others have recorded. I prefer to find an original record, but that's my personal preference. After scrolling past several matches for compiled genealogies, I found a census that appears to be a match for my Sarah Ann Nebaker as a child. Let me click the link to see this record. I could examine the transcript of the census, which includes the names of various family members, and I could also zoom in and carefully examine the original document. After I'm done examining this record, let me scroll down to the bottom of this page. Often, but not always, MyHeritage will add to the bottom of the page you're looking at this Record Detective Results section, which lists additional records and trees that you might find interesting. I have here 57 records that I may want to quickly scroll through and see which ones I want to examine in more detail. Sometimes it takes 10 to 20 seconds after you first view the record before these are shown. I think you'll find this list of records very helpful in your quest to find information on your ancestor. Okay, we've covered the basics of using TreeTips. Now let's explore some of the special considerations for getting the most out of the free hints from FamilySearch. First, let me show you how to link your records to FamilySearch records so that you can get the FamilySearch hints. I'll only skim the surface in this video. If you need additional help, please visit the tutorials page on our website and view one of the more in-depth tutorials on how to link and upload your records to FamilySearch. Let me show you how to link a selected individual to FamilySearch by using Catherine as an example. I'll click the gray tree icon to start the matching process. Sometimes you'll have a single entry and sometimes you'll have a long list of possible matches. You'll review the details in the list to see if any are likely matches. For those records that seem like a possible match, click anywhere on the line to have Ancestral Quest show you more details below. With the additional details shown, compare the information from your file on the left with the information from FamilySearch on the right. Pay special attention to the relatives to make sure these records have the same parents and spouses. If you are comfortable that you have found a matching record, then mark the record as the same. You'll notice the check mark. Then link the record. If you cannot find your record on FamilySearch, then you can add your record to FamilySearch, and FamilySearch will start looking for hints for this new record. In this case, I have found the record, so let's mark it and complete the link and do a link only. Now let me show you how to link families. First, you must have at least one member of the family already linked. Then click on the blue icon for a linked family member. I'll use Sarah Ann as my example. When the review screen is shown, choose to work with either parents and siblings or spouses and children. Let me select the parents and siblings. Then you'll want to expand the family by clicking the expander button to see all of the family members. This may take a few seconds as Ancestral Quest reads several records over the internet. Notice that in this case, the father, John, is already linked. However, the mother and several children are not. Let me click on the options box by the mother to tell Ancestral Quest to link the mother's record. Now that both parents are identified, you have options to handle the children. Let me click the Mark All button to tell Ancestral Quest to link the other siblings in this family. Now I can click the Process button to process my selections. Ancestral Quest gives a summary of the actions you have selected. If everything looks good, click the Commit button. Depending on whether you have done this before and selected certain preferences, you may or may not be asked whether you want to manually sync each individual or just link the records. For this exercise, I will choose link only and process all. That's how easy it is to link family members. Oh, and while you're linking up lists of parents, siblings, etc., if you have records in your file that are not on FamilySearch, you will have the option of uploading those family members to FamilySearch at that time. Lastly, let me show you how to link or upload larger groups of records. Go to Ancestral Quest's FamilySearch menu, then select Link or Upload Groups. You can either choose to match all the records in your file, or select a smaller group, like all of your paternal line or descendants of your third great-grandfather or whatever. Once you select a group, click on the Start Matching button and allow Ancestral Quest to perform a match on each member of the selected group. At the end of the matching process, Ancestral Quest will place records into one of these groups, and you can use the View buttons to view who are in each groups. From the two top groups, you can quickly link the records of the groups with FamilySearch. From this group, you can upload records that are in your file but are not already in FamilySearch. For more help in using this group feature, use the help buttons or watch our tutorials on how to use this feature in more depth. Realize that FamilySearch hints can be found in 3 separate places. Let me turn on the FamilySearch hinting now. When you hover your mouse over a hint icon, you will see fairly recent hints, but you may not be seeing older hints. Remember I told you that you could convert a hint to a source? Many records that had been hints in the past have already been converted to sources and no longer show as hints. To see these older hints, you need to look into the sources for FamilySearch records. To do this, click on a blue tree icon to bring up the review screen. Take a look at the Sources button. Behind the word Sources, you'll see 2 numbers. The number on the left tells you how many sources are in your database. The number on the right tells you how many sources are in FamilySearch for this person. If FamilySearch has some sources, some of them may have previously been hints. Just click on the Sources button to examine the list of sources. If you find a source that is of an original record that you would like to see, click on the title of the source to expand the source information. Then click on the URL to see the original page of the record. This will show you the original source page in your default browser. In this case, I can click on this link to view the image. Between the active hints and the individual sources that I've just shown you, you will find most of the hints available to you through FamilySearch. There is one more place you could check. It is my experience that a lot of users of FamilySearch are unaware that you can attach sources to couples. Mostly they attach sources to individuals, even when the source is about the couple. In the rare chance that another relative attached a source to the couple, click the Spouses and Children button, then expand the family. You'll notice that for each couple there is a Sources link. If you'll click on that link, if there are any sources, you will see them here. Again, you could expand the source, and if you wanted, you could look at the source image. If you want to add any source to your personal file, click on this options box or click Add to Local. Select a fact or record to attach it to in your database and click on Add Source. Let me point out just one more example with FamilySearch hinting. Notice that even though I have John Nebeker linked to FamilySearch, he shows no hints. Remember that hints can be found not only through the hint icon, but through sources. Let's click on the blue tree icon for John. Notice that he has 29 sources on FamilySearch. When I open the list of sources, sure enough, there are several links to original documents, including several census records that can be reviewed. If you are looking for original records, keep in mind that FamilySearch has more records available than what are shown by the hint icons. Now that we've covered the nuts and bolts, let me show you an example of how easy it is to build your family tree using Ancestral Quest and the TreeTips technology. Let me create a brand new database. I'm going to close this file, and I want to create a new file. I'll call it TT for TreeTips. Let me start in this tutorial by adding what I can remember off the top of my head about my grandparents. My grandfather is Ralph Findlay, and as I recall, he was born about 1897 in Bloomington, Idaho. And he died, as I recall, in 1979 in Salt Lake City, Utah. My grandmother was Lillian Farner. I believe she was born about 1900 in Garden City, Utah. And I believe she died about 1976 also in Salt Lake City, Utah. I don't recall when or where they were married. With that much entered, let's start using the hints. So I'll turn on both the FamilySearch and Find My Past hints. I've already got hints now from Find My Past. Let's look at the hints for my grandfather. I have 9 pending hints. Let's look at them. Remember, I couldn't remember the information on their marriage. It looks like I found their marriage, both date and place. Let's take a look at that in more detail. I'll click the review button and take a quick look. As I look at the transcript, this is my grandfather and my grandmother. Correct time and location. This looks like it's their record. Let me move the left side of the browser over a bit so I can see both Ancestral Quest and this transcript image more clearly at the same time. And I'm going to now add into Ancestral Quest the date, which is 22 January 1919, and the place is Paris, Bear Lake, Idaho. Now let me go back and also look at one of the other hints we found. So I'll click back to hints. And let me scroll down a little. I can see here the Social Security Death Index. Let me review that record. Notice this transcript gives me more exact birth and death information, so let me scroll this over to the right a little bit and edit that information into Ancestral Quest. He was born on the 23rd of August in 1897, and he died in December of 1979. With that additional birth, marriage, and death information, any subsequent hints and searches will be yet more accurate. Let me now link these people with FamilySearch. I'll click on the gray tree icon next to Ralph, select the high confidence match, compare what's in my database on the left with what's in FamilySearch on the right. It looks like the same birth, death information, and the same spouse. So this is a match. Let me mark it as the same record, then link it. Notice that I now have hints from FamilySearch. I'm looking for a census record from his childhood to see if I can find out who his parents are. Since he was born in 1897, the 1900 or 1910 census should fit the bill. As I had hoped, here's a hint for the 1910 census. I'll review this record by clicking on it. Again, I could look at the transcript and take information from there, but let me look at the image by clicking on the image. Then zoom in to see details. Sure enough, here is Ralph as a 12-year-old child, his parents, and several of his older siblings. Let me show you how to add some of this information, and then I'll pause the recording while I add the rest. So let me quickly move this screen over a bit to the right, and let's add the father. The father is Alma Findlay. He was born, he's 51 years old at the census. That would place him born about 1858. It says Utah is where he was born. Ralph's mother is Sarah A., so let me add her. And she's 49 years old, which would put her born about 1860. Again in Utah. This census also says how long they'd been married at the time of the census. 29 years in the 1910 census put them married about 1880. And it doesn't say where. I'll start adding the children while this video is paused. Okay, I finished adding the rest of the family members off this census record. Notice that TreeTips has helped me extend my family tree back another generation, and the hints just keep coming in to take me further on my journey. With Ralph highlighted, let me now do an advanced search on Ancestry.com. I want to use the Search Favorite Sites button, so let me open the Favorite Sites and make sure that Ancestry.com is set to be the default, and then I can click the Search Favorite Site button. Again, notice all of the information that was sent to Ancestry.com from Ancestral Quest as a result of what we've already found. We now have a long list of matching records. Let's select the Find a Grave Index. This is now the headstone for Ralph Finley. I can glean a more specific death date and burial place, and I now have the suggested records to see additional information I could research on my grandfather. Let me take the time to quickly add this extra information I've just found. So his birth date, we just saw his death date was on the 2nd of December, and we know he was buried in the Bloomington, Idaho cemetery. Right? Lastly, let's do an advanced search on MyHeritage. I could set MyHeritage to be the default search, but let's leave Ancestry.com as the default for now and simply go to the Favorite Site screen, select MyHeritage, and perform the search. Again, notice all of the information that got passed to MyHeritage from what we've already collected in Ancestral Quest. And again, while I could select any of the trees, I prefer to find a record. So let me scroll down. And here near the top of page 3, I have found the United States World War I draft registration record. Let me select that. I can glean whatever information is available on this draft registration card. I can view the original image if I want. And finally, down at the bottom of the page, after waiting a few seconds, we now have the record detective results, which says there are 11 more records I can look at to find more information from MyHeritage on my grandfather. I've now taught you the basics of how to use the various hinting and advanced searching tools in Ancestral Quest to research your genealogy. Let me mention a couple of other tools in Ancestral Quest that can help you stay organized. As you enter information from these various records, take the time to record the source of the information, both as a source and possibly as a research item, by going to the Add to Do item, and eventually you can review all of the items that you've collected for a person. This will help you remember which records you have already looked at so that later you don't cover the same ground twice. Also, as you work on a specific person, use the Individual tab. This will show you everything you already know about the person, including his family members, and if you've entered notes and sources and research items, those will be listed at the bottom. This will help you keep track of what you've researched on this person and what you have yet to look for. As you can see, TreeTips can quickly and easily help you start and grow your family tree. Notice that each of the services suggested several other records I could review, along with compiled trees from others that I could look through. As you take your time to review the records and trees that TreeTips puts at your fingertips, you will find a wealth of information. We don't claim that all of the possible genealogy records in the world will present themselves to you through these services. Sometimes you'll have to dig deeper through other sources. But TreeTips, combined with what you already know about your family and what you can find by asking questions of your living relatives, should be able to get most users well along their way. Thank you for watching this video. If you know of others who would benefit from the research assistance provided by TreeTips, please share this video with them.